Hello everyone, welcome to the pilot episode of our podcast Beyond the Book. I'm Gowtham Naidu from Authors Channel. We are a book publishing, distribution, and a marketing company. Today's guest is someone who I think perfectly embodies the notion that you don't have to choose between creativity and strategy, you can actually live in both. Welcome, Mr. Aniket Sharma.
Thank you, Gautam. First of all, happy Ganesh Chaturthi and happy Ganesh Festival to everyone. And I'm very happy to be part of this pilot episode of yours. Looking forward to have a very fantastic conversation.
Aniket, you wear many hats author, storyteller, IT professional, and now even a publisher. If you had to introduce yourself at a dinner table in one line, what would you say?
Dinner table on one line. The first question itself is hitting out of the park. Uh, it depends on whom I am sitting with on a dinner table, but I would say I I build authors, I create stories by passion, by profession.
Aniket, many people, including myself, we all have thoughts or stories that we want to share to the world, but we don't get the opportunity to do that. I myself have a few stories that sometimes about me or some fictional stories that I want to share. So, when did you get these concrete thoughts that you want to put it in a book, you want to sell it to the world, you want to say your story out there, put your story out there?
Gautam, the stories are everywhere, and when we meet people, when we talk to people, when we do our work, the stories just they do get created in our minds, and I always find it's better to keep on thinking on your thoughts and just write it down, pour your thoughts on a piece of paper, and when you keep on doing it, one day it becomes a book. So when you don't find podium to talk, the words become paragraphs, and that is how the story is born.
Well, Aniket, I for one am thankful that you had these thoughts to pour it down and convert into a book because your books, Yuyutsu and Chakravyu, these books actually kind of reimagine how we are telling mythology and part of Indian history as well. Because what I've read, what I've seen, the most epics that I've read, the retellings have been from a broad perspective. It's always been from an upper layer perspective or from the protagonist perspective. But you chose to focus on underrated characters like Abhimanyu here. Where was the line of thinking? What is the line of thinking behind that?
So, good question, Gautam. I mean, don't you think life is like that? I mean, we are surrounded by people. We are protagonists of our own stories, but we are supported by many people around us, and we succeed, we fail because of the people around us, and then we feel happy, we feel joy, blissful because of the people around us. So if you see these characters whom I picked in my books, Yotsu and Abhimanyu, uh, they in the most of the books which I have read about Mahabharat or the books I have read, the retellings, these characters were not too much celebrated. And when I read the content, when I read the stories, I always think that how how these characters will be playing or how these characters will be thinking and when the actual story was going on. So I tried to imagine the story from their perspective. I did my work in trying to understand that वो कैसा सोच रहे होंगे जब अर्जुन फाइट कर रहा था या कृष्ण कुछ बोल रहे थे, तो युत्सु और अभिमन्यु का जो रोल है वो लोग क्या सोच रहे थे, उनके पर्सपेक्टिव में क्या चल रहा था. तो आई ट्राई टू imagine their role in the entire saga and brought that forward. So these are unsung heroes, and then I playfully say that all unsung heroes mere sang chalo.
The quote that you just said, unsung heroes mere sang se chalo. Is that why you want to become a publisher as well? You want to take experiences of everything? Because it's very rare actually to see an author becoming a publisher, an author who just pens down their thoughts, but they don't seem to have much knowledge of what's going on behind the works, and they seem to have outsourced it to people to get their book out to the world. But you seem to have taken the responsibility that, chalo, I'll only do this. Let's see what's there. Let's conquer this as well. What was the thoughts behind this?
Well, the journey of writing and becoming a becoming a published author with the support of lot many people around me, I realized that there are many aspects which are there when a book comes out. I mean, writing is just one part. Completing your manuscript is just one part. Beyond that, there are many things which happen. And as a author, I was unaware till my first book came out. A lot of struggle has gone into convincing editors to edit the content, finding the right editors to get the publishing house, or finding which publishing house is better on for the genre which I am working on, and whether they will accept my work or not. So बहुत सारे questions चलते रहते हैं, बहुत सारा to and fro भी होता है उसमें. And then I feel in entirety the load goes on the author कि he has to write the book, he has to complete his story, and then they will have to find the publishing house or convince the editors to get their work out, and until till they become famous, a lot of to and fro happens. So I realized in my journey that I should do something in this space and try to understand where the major gap is happening, why we are not getting enough voices, or voices are not getting heard. So I took that as kind of a responsibility on me, that okay, let me try to understand कहाँ पे कैसे इसको fix कर सकते हैं, what are the opportunities which can be created, how this gap can be minimized, and how better we can reachability for the authors कि ठीक है उसको वो सिर्फ अपने ही बुक पे फोकस करें और अपने कंटेंट पे फोकस करें, और उसके पोस्ट जो भी एनालिसिस है, एडिटिंग है, और जो बुक्स का जो भी पोस्ट प्रोडक्शन चीजें हैं, वो वो पब्लिशिंग हाउस के पास ही के पास ही रहे, और दे शुड नॉट गेट टू मच वरीड अबाउट दैट ऑल दोस थिंग्स. So I thought, let me go into this entire cycle and understand how it works. And when I've gone through this, I understood there is a lot of pain which is happening, and people do go through lot of exercise in getting one book out. It is not that easy process. So and then in entirety, I thought that okay, I should build some space where authors should be celebrated. Authors should feel content after writing their book. Like okay, my book is there. There is somebody reliable. There is somebody whom they can trust on to get their book out, and that is where this process of getting into the publishing space has started, with this thought that okay, let authors be celebrated, let authors focus on their work, which they are born with, which they are what they are meant for, and the other activities, let the other supporting actors like the unsung heroes let them handle it.
You know, I've actually been hearing this audiobook. It's about Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, and he talks about how you may move how big of a mountain you want, but you need to start with small pebbles. And I believe that's what you're doing here. You've taken steps into publishing, and I'm sure your publishing company is going to be the size of a mountain here when you finish it.
Of course, yes, and as they say, uh, every small effort is a journey, is a step towards a step towards the journey. So the journey has started, the journey has begun, and we will celebrate it together.
Aniket, especially in a country like India where we have so much of population with so much of talent here, if we are to start something, it needs to be unique, it needs to be creative, and that's what Park Percussion does here as well. And whatever I've read about it, there is uniqueness in it because I don't know many such institutions or even publications which solely focuses on celebrating the heritage, the ancient history of our country. So, can you speak more to the uniqueness about your publication?
Of course, yes. Thank you for that question, and this is really important for every new author or every debutant author to understand how the publishing process works. And with respect to part, we, as I mentioned earlier, also that we want to celebrate the journey of author, and they should feel connected with the publishing house. They should feel connected with the editors who are working on their book. They should feel connected that their work is being celebrated, and their work is being they are part of that entire journey of publishing process. They should not feel disconnected at any point of time. So the uniqueness with which we work is as soon as they submit their manuscripts or their synopsis or the sample, we we give some time to read through it, and each content goes through a channel or a editor's views, and then we talk to the authors in person without before saying that the work is accepted for the publishing or the rejected because of any reasons. We talk to these authors in person and try to understand their version of the story, because they might have written it with a different mindset. और कुछ उनके दिमाग में story है, कुछ उनके surrounding में जो stories हैं जिसको use करके they are trying to create their universe around in that book. So we always want to understand what is the idea behind the manuscript which has come out, and this is the one aspect which we always follow. And I personally read all the content which come as submission, and before taking any decision as a team, we talk to the authors, we explain them that what is good, what is better, what can be made best out of this, and then we start the process. So there is always a relationship which becomes primary, and there is nothing called as a transactional thing that okay, you came on board to us and then we will start publishing your book something in the later stage. But there is always a relationship which builds, and there is always a trust which builds between the publisher and the author. And with this unique concept of having trust and relationship, we work together. So every author who on board with us, or even before, even after talking with us, and then if they find that okay, the continuation cannot happen, they go back happy. They feel that okay, they have learned something from that conversation, they have understood something about the process of publishing, something they take back with them. And that is what I feel is the value creation in entirety. It is not only about getting the book to the bookstores. It is about what value we create with the authors to get their book to the readers.
Speaking of the unique connect with the publishers and the authors, it's not just that anymore, isn't it? It's publishers plus the author and the AI assistant which they carry. And the AI, it has impacted almost all walks of life now. From publishing perspective, I can say that it has impacted cover design, proofreading, manuscript editing as well. Uh, but what would you say? What would you say about the writing perspective? Has it positively impacted you or negatively impacted you?
This is very good question, Gautam, because AI has actually surrounded us in all forms, and we are taking a lot of help from the tools which are available, and we are always the help is just a click away now. So from the in the designing part, we take the help in the setting typesetting part, we take the help. And a lot of other things in the publishing process, you also know it, that we the tools are helping us a lot. When you talk about the how the use of these tools is impacting the writing journey for any author, this we have to take a bit sensitively also, because no author will say that okay, he or she has taken the content from any of the available tools and then they have given some prompts and taken the content from there. But we will have to accept somewhere that human intelligence and artificial intelligence is going to live together. So if I take a step back and say, when AI tools were not here, and when the writers used to write, they used to submit their work to the publishing house or to the editors for the editing, right? तो वो कहीं ना कहीं help ले रहे थे किसी की. Even there was another person who was doing the editing for them. So वो help थी वहां पर. There was always a help which was there. In entirety, the book when it used to come out, uh, there was the content which was written by author, the original writer, and then there is an editor who used to reread the content and then edit it and rephrase it and paraphrase it, and then the book used to come out, right? So there is always a help. There was always a help available. There is always a help available. It is our responsibility how we are going to use it and how well we are going to accept the usage of that. So what will happen if we keep on using that as a tool to give us the content for writing or content for the stories? What will happen is the if I say that okay, these are the 5 bullet points, I need a story around it. So the frame of a story will may look similar, so there will be very less creativity will be left, and the tools are getting trained also, and I'm not doubting the skills with these tools are getting developed, that potential with these tools have future may they can make very very great stories also. But the human intelligence will always be needed, human creativity will always be needed to ensure that whatever the content is coming out, it is in alignment with what actual readers want to read. And editing is not only about correcting the grammar. Paraphrasing or reading the content is not only about seeing the what the flow is looks like. It is also about understanding the essence of the story and telling the or not only telling but explaining it to the author that what is right for the story. And this term what is right for the story, it comes with the experience of the editor, it comes with the experience of a human who is working on for years and years on multiple stories. तो वो experience हो सकता है आगे चल के AI में आ जाए, but what I always feel is the writers who are writing the content, they should use the tools wisely. They should not 100% rely on the tools. And if they're using it, let them accept it that they're using the tool. But there should always be a human support or human intelligence or the human guidance to correct the versions of that story. If I take example from our the submissions which come to us, and because we are more focused on the stories which belong to the historical facts, the stories which are more belongs to the Indian heritage and folk tales, and we always celebrate the historical events and the stories around that. So we believe that the content which is available in the already published books, which is there and which is there in any form of the publication, people should read that first before taking any decision on what they want to write or what they want to express in their versions. So use of these tools may get them results faster, but the research content is always celebrated. Research content will always be helpful for the readers to admire that story in entirety, and the authors will also feel proud when they are researched and their original creativity will be out. So I feel in a just in a summary, AI will remain, human will always be will also be there. The amalgamation of human intelligence and artificial intelligence together will definitely help in creating better and better stories. But writers should take this very responsibly, that they should not rely on the tools to write stories for them. They should rely on their own creativity. They should believe in their creativity. They should believe in their imagination, and that is when the stories will be out. The readers will be happy to read the content, and the work will be accepted more in a more warmly and widely.
I'm glad you have such strong opinions on this, and not just opinions. You seem to be also putting it into action, because I've seen that you're conducting mentorships and workshops for young students on the writing activities. So, what do you think are the kind of stories that the next generation wants to tell now?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a pleasure to work with the young generation, young lot, and they have lots and lots of ideas to share. And when I conduct workshops with them, when I talk to them, they always come back with a different perspective of the similar kind of topics. Where when I do workshop with a different kind of audience, more who are more in the mid 40s or kind of audience versus these youngsters who are in the college or first year or second year of the college, their perspective is very very different. What I am seeing, the change now is these they are talking more about the empowerment. They are talking more about diversity. They are more talking about inclusivity. They are talking about how things can be modified, or how better they can contribute to the overall picture. They're lazy, I know. They're a bit lazy, but a push in the right direction, I believe, is going to help a lot, and they can become a very very great storytellers or great story writers if their energy is channelized in a right way. So I conducted a couple of workshops in very famous universities, and then the students of history department, the students of arts department, they came forward with a different version of similar stories. Like, I have given the keywords, I have given a situation, I have given the use case, and each set has come up with a different story around it, which shows how much creativity they can bring in together when they channelize it in the right direction, and when they work together as a team. So what I feel is, these kind of interactions with the younger audience always help to me also to learn more from them, that what they want to read, what they want to explore further, and this I tell to my fellow authors as well, that what these readers or these young minds want to read further, and this helps us a lot in exploring the ideas. This helps in brainstorming the ideas together. And when I tell this to the writers, that okay, you try to create some stories in these lines, what they want to read, this in itself creates a lot of opportunities in this space, where the ideas are there, where the creativity is there, writing methodology is there, and then there are readers who want to read some such kind of content. So एक वो ecosystem जैसा हो जाता है ना, so that ecosystem builds around it, and that is where I feel interacting with the different kind of a different generation of people, a different age group of people, and different people coming from different cultures also, it always helps in understanding that what the readers actually look for, and this helps in the publishing journey also. So I'm just getting help from these unsung heroes.
Okay, so 18 years going on in IT sector now. First of all, I can't believe that you have a head full of hair, especially in Bangalore, and you're looking so fit. And but just leaving all that, how do you balance corporate work and the storytelling work?
Oh yeah, 18 has crossed. I mean, it went so fast, and I can't believe that it is about two decades to be completed very soon. But yeah, I mean, as I say, if you find joy in whatever you work, the time just passes, and whatever I do in my corporate life, and whatever I do in my personal space, I try to find a balance, that how I can be more happy in completing the tasks which is given to me, and which is there. So if you see the corporate side of the world, there are goals to complete. If you see the writing side of the world, there are goals to complete. Now, corporate goals are something which is given to you, because this is not something which you have created for yourself. It is given to you, that okay, you have to complete this to reach the next level. And writing goals are something which you create for yourself, that you have to complete this to, because you want to develop something, you want to create something. So so when you complete something which is given to you, somebody else will be happy, because these goals are given to you by somebody else, so somebody else will be happy. But if you complete something which is created by you, which is set by you, then you will be happier, you will be joyful, you will be blissful. And when you are happy from inside, you can make people around you happier, and content with whatever task, with whatever activities you do. And there is always a connection which builds with the story, because whenever in doubt, I always say that whenever you have any doubt, just think about some stories in your surrounding. You look around people; they are creating multiple stories, and it helps me in finding the answers. Whenever I find that, okay, my the corporate goals are not getting fulfilled, so what to do there? If my writing goals are not getting fulfilled, what to do there? I try to find answers there, and I try to create some kind of balance in between. And it is more about, as a person, as a storyteller, as a author, or as a corporate person, and as a corporate worker, what you want to achieve in the all these segments. So there's always a threshold which you need to create for yourself. There's always a boundary which we have to create for ourselves. I do not stress much on anything which do not make yourself too stressful that working itself becomes starts creating more pressure. Whether it is writing, do not put pressure that okay, abhi मेरे को ये complete ही करना है. If it is a corporate work, until unless it is impacting something, just stay there, do your work which is given to you, which is something which is great, we have created for you. Just complete that and be in that alignment, right? Just be there, be what you want to do, just be there, try to do that, and just stay focused. I mean, that's the simplest thing. uh, what what more? I mean, it is like finding opportunities, creating opportunities, and moving ahead towards your aspirations. That's the simplest thing what you can do.
From the people that I've come across, so many of them do multitasking, juggling on different jobs. But for them, right, it's always been like, why am I wasting time with this particular job when I can actually focus more here and earn more here? But I get the feeling that in your case, it might be the opposite, because the Venn diagram of the usefulness for you, if you take on your corporate work and literary work, I feel like that kind of becomes a complete circle, because you actually use a lot of your literary skills in your corporate work, isn't it? Like connecting with the clients using the storytelling skills you have, the narrating skills you have. Is there any other examples where you found out like you are glad that you're a storyteller when you're in the corporate world?
Well, everybody is a storyteller, and it is just people. People may feel shy in sharing their thoughts. People may sometimes, because as a character, people may are quite reserved. They feel shy in speaking or sharing things. But in general, everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a story to share, and uh, in while working in corporate also, or while working in outside corporate also. I mean, corporate is just an example here, but if you're working for if you're doing your own business, and writing or pursuing your hobby as a side thing, uh, these there's always an integration in between. It helps, because uh, when you write something, you create a world around you. There is a universe which you create, and you place your characters in that universe, and then there is a story which comes out of that. Now, when we work in any organization, or when we work in any corporate house, or even when we work anywhere outside corporate also, there is always a universe which exists. There are people who exist there. So we at the end of the day, we are dealing with people, either in the story, or in the real world. We are dealing with the people, and the better we communicate with them, the better we share our thoughts, our ideas with them. It always is helpful, and that is where I feel, whenever I I feel disconnected in any form, I try to meet more people. I try to find what others are doing and how they can be helpful in what I am trying to achieve in my personal journey of or in my professional journey of also. So उसमें क्या होता है कि राइटिंग और स्टोरी टेलिंग और समथिंग ये सब एक सम पीपल स्टार्ट फीलिंग कि अच्छा ये अच्छा स्टोरी टेलर है तो इसलिए यहाँ पे भी अच्छी बात करके ही कैन गेट द नंबर्स. नो, इट डजंट वर्क लाइक दैट. Just because you have created your universe in a story, you have placed characters in your story, so your mind is interacting with those characters already. So real world में क्या होता है कि when you are talking to people, there is always as I mentioned, there are people are already there, right? So you are interacting with those people. So it becomes slightly easier to convince people or to share your thoughts because you are already doing it some at some in bits and pieces somewhere. So yes, it helps, but that doesn't mean that I don't have to work or perform, right? So that should
Nothing
that
comes in.
there is no discount for in that as well. But yeah, it helps, and there are many. I mean, there are many examples where when we talk it out. I mean, when we share it with full transparency, the achievement of the goals become a bit easier. That be transparent, be humble, be polite in whatever we are trying to do. It always helps.
I've actually listened to few of the great visionaries, and they talk about the power of manifestation. They talk about how if you want to achieve it, you want to see it yourself first. So, where do you see yourself, Parth Prakashan, your writing, and the legacies that you want to create in the maybe next few years?
Oh, that's a great question on legacy side. So I've read somewhere which says that the only thing which you carry with after you're gone is whatever you leave behind, and that has left a very deep impact on me. That what is there which I want to leave behind, or what I would want to carry with me when I'm gone. So, with the same vision and mission, I work in this publishing process. The Path Prakashan works with this vision that what value we are adding for these authors. Whenever any author, any writer submits their manuscript, they have a lot of hopes in them that what their book will be out, they will become famous, their story will be out, and everybody will follow their fandom will be increased. So a lot of things is running and racing in their mind when they submit their manuscript. I, as a publisher, as a fellow writer to them or a fellow storyteller, I do not want to break that thought process inside them. But what I work towards is them is to make them understand that whatever work they want to publish or whatever story they want to bring forward, that should add some value in the overall ecosystem of publishing or the reading or people who are reading. They should start liking their work. So there is there's a race with which people sometimes end up working with कि हाँ नंबर वन स्टोरी टेलर बन जाना है, नंबर वन पब्लिशिंग हाउस बन जाना है, एक ऐसा ऑथर बनना है जिसके लिए people are running behind. There is no harm in thinking about it. I mean, this is all aspiration. People should think about it like that. But what I feel is in totality what value is getting added, or what in that entire creation what value is getting added, and what benefits people are taking out of that. So एक creation है जो जिसपे people what people are taking reference to. हम आज stories कुछ पढ़ते हैं, these stories which are written 100 years back, or maybe 200 years back, we still enjoy reading those stories. Those people might not have thought about कि उनका stories जो those who have written 50 100 years back will still today people will enjoy reading those stories. So I want to make these new authors, or make the writers understand that we should write something where people 20 years down the line, 50 years down the line, 100 years down the line, they should read it and they should keep thinking that क्या thought रहा होगा जब ये story लिखी होगी किसी writer ने, क्या सोच के लिखा होगा. Then when you think in that direction, those the concept of carrying something with you gets imbibed with that, वो अपने आप चलने लगता है. तो मतलब मैं I always crack jokes like कि नंबर वन या फर्स्ट नहीं आना है अपने को, हम फोर्थ आने में भी खुश हैं, बट वो फोर्थ आने पे we will create some magic around it where people will follow that, okay, ये उस लेवल पे नहीं है लेकिन जहां पे भी है दे आर एडिंग लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ वैल्यूज. सो जब हम लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ वैल्यूज की बात करते हैं, एक इकोसिस्टम की बात करते हैं, सो दिस इज व्हाट समथिंग व्हिच आई फील एज ए विजन कि पीपल शुड लुक at us, that if we reach to them, if we meet them, their work, the their work will be in the right hands, their work will reach the right audience, their work will be, the manuscript will be rightly edited and reach to the masses where they want, who are the right audience for, or who are the right readers for those books. So with that vision we work, with that mission we operate, and I think this is a legacy which we want to leave behind. And if I leave something behind, that will go with me.
Those are some truly profound words, Aniket, about the not being stuck in the rat race, trying to add some value into the ecosystem we live in. Honestly, it just makes me want to look forward to your work even more. Like, can you give me an update on what's going on in your literary career now? Like, can I look forward to anything in the upcoming months, maybe?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'm very much excited, as a in the capacity of author, in the capacity of publisher. We have lots and lots of pipeline which is there, and my personal work, which I am working on as a writer, is called Deval. This is a story of a queen of which was in the Khilji era. So I have taken medieval history as the topic this time, and I've written this. I've been writing this for almost 4 years now, and hopefully this year this will be out. We are almost at the end of getting this editing part done, and the cover page, and the publishing process. So this is all in process. So I'm very much excited about the story of Deval to be coming out, and people will get to know about one more queen from Rajasthan region, or Patan region, how the journey of that queen from there to Delhi, and during the Khilji era, what all things have happened and what all things have unfolded, and how well that story was there when Khilji was ruling. So this is one story which which is my personal story, which is my personal writing, which is coming out. From the publishing side of the world, we are launching a couple of books in this year. Right from the stories of urban tales, from the stories of some folk tales, stories of some heritage stories around, stories from north, stories from down south, stories from northeast. They are all in pipeline, and I'm very much excited because each author has given their best in creating those stories, and as a team of publishers, we have given more than 100% to make their story successful. So we are excited to launch their work as well, and hopefully in coming months you will start seeing their work coming out, and their work should reach to the people, because I personally have liked each work which was getting in our from the logo of our Prakashan. um, I always tell to my authors that don't feel the how much time it is going to take to get the work out, because there is a process which should be followed. Each book has its own journey. So even if it's taking couple of weeks extra to get the final version out, just be patient, and get let the right people who are associated in getting the work out should work on it, and then it should be published. So there are many, as I mentioned, there are many stories which are there, and we are also doing some experiment with the amalgamation of human intelligence and artificial intelligence. I'm just taking the cue from the previous question as well, where you asked about the impact of AI. So we have given a deep thought around the impact of AI in writing process, and we are trying to do some experiment in that area as well. And I'm personally very excited to see if a human plus AI can co-create some work, some stories, or some kind of book which can be helpful for the society as well. So we are working on those projects as well. And then there are addition of authors is ongoing process. So I'm welcoming the debutant authors, the new authors, or the seasoned authors to talk to us, understand how unique our Prakashan is, what elements we can create, and what magic we can create together. And I invite the authors to talk to me, talk to us, and this journey will be very beautiful.
Aniket, you've had such deep footprints now in your IT career and even in the literary career. You're branching out now. But have you ever had a moment to think about, if not these two, what else?
Okay. Well, if not these two, what else means not working in corporate or not writing? So maybe किसी मंदिर में पुजारी होता. I would have applied for that. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Again, yeah, it would have been in your avenue, right? Because it's all again linked with ancient history and such.
I mean, I've never. I mean, I have not given a deep thought around it, but I actually like to be around these places, and किसी मंदिर में application देता जाके कि मेरे को पुजारी रख लो यहाँ पर थोड़े time के लिए, या फिर yeah, or else I would be in theaters, maybe theater writing, play writing वगैरह कुछ कर रहा होता. अगर if that is not contradicting to my writing ideas, but
Well, you certainly have the looks. So,
okay, so the right, so पुजारी वाला रख लो answer. So I think yeah, मंदिर का पुजारी would be the better, would be the right choice then. Yeah.
all right, then I have run out of questions now. So I'm going to put you in the spot. What is one question that interviewers don't ask you that you wish they asked?
Oh well, everybody is quite smart. I mean, they do a lot of research and do a lot of findings when before they put these kind of questions forward. So I mean, all aspects are covered in multiple ways. Sometimes in a personal story, sometimes knowing from the professional side. But what one question? I think I would love if somebody would ask, like, do you believe in dreams? Yeah, that's one question nobody asked me ever. Do you believe in dreams?
I'll make note of that. You'll be a repeat guest anyway, so I'm going to ask you. That's the first question for the next episode. You talked about conversing with these students, young authors, but I know I've come across many people who actually don't know from where to start their book. They have a lot of ideas, they have a lot of stories that they want to share, but they feel like writing is a Herculean task. They don't know from where to begin. So, what is one piece of advice that you want to give to them?
Everybody who wants to write and who have stories to share. I mean, from my personal experience, what I can say is don't write. Don't write, create. If you get into the race of completing any story, the magic will not come out. You have to create that story. You have to create the universe around it. You have to create the characters. Once you do that, the story will automatically flow. So the three words: don't write, create.
And that's that for today's conversation, Aniket. Thank you so much for taking time out of your invaluable schedule and sharing your wisdom and thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, Gautam, for having me here, and it was pleasure speaking to you. So many aspects we covered. I hope people will enjoy listening to it, and looking forward for more such conversations. Thank you so much, Gautam.
Certainly. To all the viewers out there, we hope you had a productive time listening to this. And please do share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you.